Okay, so it seems like recently Dokibird has been getting some really popular clips of a certain incident which happened involving the game Highguard. Now, if you don't know, obviously Highguard came out yesterday, and it's been a pretty big talk in terms of general internet and gaming news, right? Due to the massive failure that it was, and how much people have been kind of speculating how much of a massive failure it was going to be. Because if you don't know, Highguard was a game that essentially was announced at the Game Awards and had pretty much no kind of advertising until a couple days before the release, and was mainly kind of promoted by the Game Awards, which had people thinking that maybe Jeff Keighley was involved in terms of, kind of promoting it or whatever, and had like a stake in it or whatever. And it was made by, Apex Legend devs and, Titanfall 2 devs, which obviously have worked on the same game as well. But yeah, they all worked on Highguard, and it ended up doing absolutely terribly, with Highguard actually losing 90% of its players in less than a day. The reviews are terrible. The game is on a speedrun to failure. Jeff owes us an apology. And yeah, obviously, this is such a big kind of issue as well, due to the fact that this was kind of thrown up at the end of the Game Awards, which is usually reserved for one of the biggest games that is coming out, of that year, which again, I just don't think Highguard is, right? And I managed to get to play it myself. I played about 2-3 hours of it. And again, I just had enough by the end of it. I just couldn't play anymore. It was absolutely horrible. And it seems that Dokibird is also in a similar kind of boat here. And yeah, obviously tons of people have been making a lot of memes about it, because she actually did give it a go on stream, and people saying the team that built Apex Legends and Titanfall. And obviously, yeah, it says 97,000 24-hour peak, and it says 39,000 players right now, and it's just crazy, right? And this is one of the faces that's been kind of trending in terms of Dokibird, because she did end up making this kind of like disappointed face, which I don't think we've ever seen from her before, which I thought was pretty funny. That this actually managed to kind of, I guess, make a new expression for her VTuber model that we'd never seen before. That is how disappointed she was. Well, not disappointed, but just like, I think she didn't have very high expectations. Now, obviously, this is another clip which has been going pretty popular as well. They say Dokibird just wanted to play a game in Highguard, and yeah, as you can see here, right? Please. They would get into a game.
God. Someone already DC'd. Guys, with my reaction, do you really think it's sponsored? I'm giving you the raw experience right now.
So yeah, she was obviously playing unsponsored, so she could say whatever she wanted about the game.
Alright.
So she could get into a game like this.
More casual friendly. I won't say don't have friends, but might not have a good 3 stack to go in. I swear. How?
So yeah, obviously this was a big problem within the game as well, which obviously Dokibird is pointing out there and is getting annoyed at too, which was essentially it would throw you into a game before a game was even really made, right? It would throw you into a game of like 3 out of 6 players, 5 out of 6 players, and then it would be like, oh, there's not enough players, and it would kick you back to the lobby for you to click play again, and for it to keep repeating and repeating and repeating until one time you finally got a game, which is extremely frustrating for a lot of people, right? Because again, nobody wants to keep going back to the lobby and having to click things just to find a game whenever this is supposed to be a new game, which should, have matchmaking pretty down, right? I mean, every new game usually doesn't have a problem with, finding people to matchmake with, but again, this doesn't seem like the case, and obviously they had a terrible system for it, sending you back to the lobby instead of just waiting to find another player, right? And obviously, yeah, more people saying Dokibird being reluctant about Highguard since day one, while everyone else was glazing it, like when Markiplier was warning everybody about Honey, which obviously, yeah, she kind of predicted it a little bit early, right? And people saying, yes, everyone is Jeff, and people Highguard paid, yes, you can stop botting me now. They said, I find it an even worse situation because absolutely no one vehemently hates it, but nobody loves it either. It was made for literally no one, man. They say, feel like if anything, it would be the flavor of the month, which, yeah, obviously, it's essentially one of these things where it was all right. The game was okay. The actual gameplay itself was fine. It was smooth-ish for me. Obviously, there were some people that I know that played it that were having huge FPS problems and couldn't play it. It was unplayable, right? But for me, it was fine. It ran smoothly. The game worked how it should have. But the thing is, those things like bullet sponges, which I just thought was crazy. I'd have to put like 20 shots into somebody to actually even, get an elimination, which I thought was pretty insane, right? And I just got kind of frustrated with that fact. And I think how long it takes to kind of get from one end of the map to the other. It's such a large map for only 3 players. It's just so dumb. And it just seems like a massive failure on their part. They should have tested it. They should have at least had some kind of public feedback before they fully released the game. But they didn't do that, right? And that's probably the biggest downfall. And obviously Dokibird is also saying that, right? People saying, I've never seen Doki make this face before. And yeah. Bro, look how disappointed she looks. I think it's crazy. They said, yep, I knew this game would flop. So Dokibird had to experience it in real time. So face of disappointment right there. This game does not get the Dokibird seal of approval. It said the Highguard effect. Ouch, was she playing Highguard? Which I think is so funny. Everybody just like knows that this was Highguard. Because they didn't even mention the fact that they're playing Highguard. They're just like, hey, you know, are they playing Highguard? And it's, yeah, bro, it's crazy. But yeah, obviously keep on going. We were saying not dead on arrival, which obviously, yeah, this is just a common meme which has been going around with Dokibird now about her just constantly being kicked out of lobbies and kicked out of games because there's not enough players or whatever, which I think is absolutely crazy for a game on release, as I said. There's a live Highguard reaction, and yeah, it was an absolute tanking of the players because lots of people found out that, hey, this game is actually kind of ass, and then they just kind of moved on, right? Which I thought was pretty funny. People said I can't even install this stuff to disappoint myself out. Which yeah, it's quite funny to say. Why? So where did that 6 million player count come from? I said I played for 9 hours and had 0 issues finding and starting a match. Which again, you know, they must be lucky because I've had so many issues with that as well. It's not just Dokibird that's had that issue. You know, people say she's not even sponsored and she's playing the game. And of course, I think with Dokibird being a big kind of shooter game person, right? She plays stuff like Marvel Rivals and things, as we know. It's pretty obvious that she is going to play this unsponsored anyways, because again, it's the new thing that is out. And sure, you know, there could be a one-off kind of thing where, you know, it could actually be pretty good, right? And so she wanted to get on that early, right? But it turns out, yeah, it was absolutely terrible, and obviously yeah, we're now just receiving that reaction from her now. And Dokibird actually went and talked about this over on Twitter as well, saying honestly, honest opinion on Highguard after streaming solo, not for casual players, and would be more fun if you made a pre-made 3-stack or duo. I feel like the mechanics and gameplay are geared more towards competitive and sweat pros, so hard for average players or solo jumping in, which again, that's kind of true. If she's referring to the matchmaking, a 3-stack doesn't make a difference. I played 3-stack. They still couldn't find a game every time, which I thought was pretty insane. They say, I will say, I kept getting confused with the guns because some look so similar, and I kept pulling out the wrong gun for my fights. It can be fun, but only whenever you win the gacha and get teammates who calm. But the game heavily relies on teamwork, so you can't really solo it. One last thought, I think the 3v3 is too small with how the gameplay loops, and I can already feel rank is going to be miserable to grind in general. It's like it's like if Bed Wars became a shooter and also a Frankenstein of other game mechanics. It's definitely not beginner friendly. So yeah, as you can see there, Dokibird has not been liking Highguard, and it has not been a great time for her either, as we could tell from the clips. And yeah, I think it is pretty crazy, right? You know, people say, you know, she's even like picking up Deadlock and things like that, asking how good Deadlock is, that maybe she wants to try that. Like, that is crazy, right? The fact that another game has made her want to try another game just because, you know, she disliked this one so much. I think it is pretty crazy. And obviously, yeah, she's live there. And I think she did have a very popular stream. So at least, you know, despite obviously the kind of things that happened and the, you know, bugs and things and whatever kind of ruining the stream, at least she did have a pretty high viewership. I'm pretty sure she did have quite a lot of people over watching her play Highguard because many people, especially in the VTubing space, were very interested in her opinion on it, as, you know, she does have a good opinion usually whenever it comes to kind of shooter games. So, you know, maybe we'll have to see, you know, if there's any other games that she picks up soon that might be a little bit better than this, because as I said, it is such a huge failure, you know, a Highguard. Honestly, I don't even know how it got to this point. I don't know how they managed to let it release like this. And yeah, as you can see, the chart is going down and down and down. And that was, yeah, not even like 40 minutes ago. So 40 minutes ago, the players are down to 10,000 over on Steam. Obviously, this is up on different kind of platforms as well. but I think going from 90 to 10 in the first day, not even the first 24 hours, right, that is abysmal. And I think, yeah, obviously this is going to probably die. I feel like this game is going to die, which I think, yeah, right, it might as well. Yeah, because again, I don't care. It's terrible. And obviously, yeah, Doki Bird has been going pretty viral with us. A ton of these clips and stuff that has been coming out about her opinions about the game. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all I have for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code KAZA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.